Welcome back to Bakeonator Garage. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of woodworking, some routering. I got an old chunk of bookshelf and we're going to router out a couple pockets for a mouse pad and a keyboard. I got a little home theater set up and I like to use the mouse and keyboard while I'm on the couch. And every now and again when I'm using it on this board, you know, stuff kind of goes sliding off because it's an uneven surface on my lap or on the ottoman or something like that. So we're going to route out a couple pockets so stuff keeps from sliding around, and should make our experience a little more enjoyable when we're using the hardware. All right, we got you guys down low here. So this is the board. I imagine I just accumulated it from an old bookshelf that we didn't need the shelf. So this is my mouse and keyboard that we've been using. I would like to mark this all out and just router a shallow pocket so this keeps from sliding back and forth. Same thing with the mouse and keyboard, or the mouse, I'm sorry. With the mouse pad. Go deep enough to the point to where there's not a really steep lip right here, but a steep enough lip down here so this mouse doesn't go like that anymore. You know, when I go and move just a little bit, it comes sliding off, I drop it on the floor. I'm tired of that. As you can tell, I've used this quite a bit with the mouse on there, and it's starting to rub off the material. So we'll probably go like 1/4 inch deep on this side, and probably about a 1/4 inch deep on this side too. Just keep it simple. 1/4 inch on both sides, and just kind of center them up, square up our mouse pad. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think we're just going to kind of scribe it out, really. Just use a pick. All right, we're just going to use a pick, go around it. We're not going to make this pocket to the profile of the keyboard exactly. It's going to be square. Reason why I'm just using a scribe to scrape my lines into it is because I'm going to put some felt on this, which is just going to cover it up. Pencil will work fine too, but this is kind of a slippery surface, and that graphite wipes off. All right. If I write Dave on there, my name, see, wipes off. All right. We got a router right here. some bits. All right, we got our hearing protection on so we don't damage our ears while we're working on our wood, because this stuff can be very loud. I'm just kidding. I'm not yelling at you. We're going to go ahead and set the 1/4 inch depth on this bit here. So the handle is what fixates this side, sorry. Sets your depth. Tighten up this handle. There's depth. So we're going to bring it down to roughly 1/4 inch. Take a measurement with our tape measure. Make sure we're at a 1/4 inch. Say that's 1/4 inch. Got a vacuum set up over here to our left so we can collect some of that dust and not get too much of it in our face. All right, we got our 2 pockets routed out. Turned out pretty good. Made a little oopsie right here. Went kind of went down a little bit. That's okay. It'll get covered up. But I had this bright idea. I thought I would router out just a straight pocket for the cell phone. And I was like, oh, that's neat. So we're going to use this clamp edge tool. This thing is great, especially when you're trying to make long straight cuts. You just lay it where you need it, and you use the tool. The tool that we're using with it is the router. Use the tool up against this edge, and you just follow the edge, and perfectly straight lines. But we need to locate where our bit is at in orientation to the side of the clamp guide. We need to measure the edge of the bit right here to this distance right here. this side will ride against the tool, the straight edge, and that will tell us where we are at in orientation to where we want our perfectly straight line. So, that being said, get our tape measure here. Three and 5/16. 3 and 5/16 where we're at. This edge on here is tapered because this is an adapter for a Milescraft circle jig. I just leave it on here. So 3 and 5/16 will be the edge of our bit. The diameter of our bit is 1/2 inch. And we're just going to do a roughly right here in the center of this. It's 3 inches, so we're just going to go inch and a half, and the width of our phone, we'll do a 7-inch. 7-inch wide deal here. 7 inches. Inch and a half from our edge. Now this is center of that bit. So it's a 1/2 inch diameter bit, and we need to set this in orientation to the edge of that bit. So we were 3 and 5/16 from the edge of the bit. We need to add a 1/4 inch to that 5/16 measurement in order to find center of this line, or the inch and a half that we measured here to get the same orientation. Add a 1/4 of an inch, which is half the distance of that 1/2 inch bit, to our initial line. So we were 1 inch and a half. We're going to go 1 3/4 inches. Now, this 1 3/4 inch mark is going to be the edge of our slot. It's the edge of our bit. That's where our bit is going to land. And if you, from here to here is 1/2 inch, and center is right in between that. So we know that's the location of our bit where we're going to put our slot. From the edge of that bit, we need to measure over 3 and 5/16. So that is the distance from the edge of our bit to the edge of our tool plate. So this clamp jig's pretty neat. It has a, the total length of this is 50 inches, I believe, so you can clamp a 4x8 sheet of plywood. These are great for using the router up against to get a straight line, perfectly straight line, I might add, and a circular saw, which is, it's fantastic to use with a circular saw, especially when you're trying to do long rip cuts and let's say you're by yourself or whatever, you're in the garage, you can rip a long piece of wood by yourself. It's not always the easiest, but make it work. So now that we got our clamp edge set up, all we got to do is pop the router down and follow this line the complete distance that we want, which is 7 inches. Perfectly straight line. Alright, that is our slot all cut out for our phone. I would show you the phone there, but we're kind of using it to bring you guys this awesome content. So that's the shape that we're going to be cutting out. We're going to go all the way around the perimeter, top and bottom, so it has a nice rounded edge all the way around. Always, can't stress this enough, we want to practice safety. Unplug your tool before you change the bit. We want to keep all of our fingers. So pretty much all this does is it breaks that edge. Just gives it a little better profile so it's more comfortable. So I guess we're going to be picking our material, our felt that we're going to put on here. And the way that we're going to do this is probably unconventional, to be honest with you. But we're just going to we're going to take our clamp guide. We're going to take our clamp guide and we're going to cut a groove. We're going to cut a groove from one edge all the way to the other edge to tuck our carpet. All right. Well, we got our channels cut. We are going to lay our felt on here. I had to run and grab a couple things from the store because I ran out. Today we're going to be using 3M Super 77 adhesive. Pretty much like glue 2 steel plates together with this stuff. It's pretty good. Some tape, super wide tape, because when we spray the backside with the adhesive, we don't want to get it over the existing carpet. So we'll just, this isn't super strong stuff because I don't want to peel a bunch of fibers up from our felt. Some scissors and a razor knife for trimming. Pretty good. So we want to be able to cover distances this way and this way. Kind of let it sit for a second, and it's sticky. Okay, we're not going to go crazy with getting the outside pushed down. We want to get our inside taken care of. We want to get all that carpet tucked into those corners. That's why I sprayed those first. because what this is going to do is going to take away from the outside of the material. It does have some flexibility, a little bit of stretchiness, but not too much. You don't want to pull it real tight in certain areas, because if you do that, then you use your hands to tuck this in there. You don't need a tool like this. It's not necessary. But this stuff goes down really easy. It's pretty forgiving if you get going too fast. You can peel it back up too, but you want to be gentle pulling it back up, because it'll stretch the fabric. So it's not going to want to lay down back in the same place you pulled it off of. This is where those grooves come into play. We're going to pull the carpet back a little bit up to that groove. We're going to take this and find that groove. We're going to tuck that in there. That's going to be our seam. And it's going to be on the bottom side, so you're not going to see it. So we're going to take our razor knife here, cut on the opposing side of the groove of the edge that you just laid. So we just laid this side. We're not going to cut the side that it's on. We're going to cut the opposing side. You just kind of come down here and you tuck your razor knife into the groove, get it to the bottom of the groove, and cut on that far left corner. And just follow the groove. Don't get too aggressive with it, because you will cut over. Your blade will follow over the lip, and you end up boogering it up. And then we just trim our carpet away from it. There we are. There's a seam. What do you guys think? We'll go get our mouse and keyboard, see how they look. There we go. We're all done. Got our keyboard in place. It's not going to go anywhere. Left and right, back and forth. Same thing with our mouse. It's got a little lip. It's going to stop while we're using it. If you wanted to, you could take this and glue it in place of you could glue it in place of the carpet, or there's a third option. Mouse right there. No mouse pad. You don't need a mouse pad. A nice smooth surface to run your mouse on, and every optical mouse should operate fine on here. There you go. It's definitely not going to go anywhere while you're trying to use it. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. There we go. We're all done. Let me know if you guys make one. See what versions you guys come up with, and put your own twist on it. Thanks for watching.